One. So, we'll see. But do you think you still a bit? Tough fight, but you expect him to stop? Him? I expect him, I believe he will win the fight. I believe he'll win the fight. How he wins it, we'll see. The worrying thing is with Moses style, he could be landing some serious bombs, sharp bombs that do a lot of damage to Dillian early doors, so he could never get into the fight. So yeah, I think it's stacked against Dillian. I'm not saying that Dillian can't do anything in the fight. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying if I'm looking at from the outside in and just looking at how I see, how I see bullpen stages of careers, the styles have done that. There's a difference. And Dillian Whyte, for me, looks like a guy that's in shape to go the distance or to at least ask questions of this young pup. Heavyweight. Boxing pros give their predictions for Moses Itauma versus Dillian Whyte. Frank Warren says that Moses will win the fight, but admits it will still be a tough challenge as Dillian can punch hard. He believes Moses can handle the pressure and emerge victorious. Warren also makes it clear that he wants Moses to win as he sees him as a future of heavyweight boxing.
What is your forecast for this fight?
I think he'll be in a tough fight. I know he's got the punch power to hurt and stop Dillian Whyte. I also know that Dillian Whyte also has the punch power to cause damage. And the one thing with Moses at the moment is that's not been tested. So we'll see.
But do you think are you still a tough fight? But you expect him to stop him?
I expect him. I believe he will win the fight. I believe he'll win the fight. How he wins it, we'll see. For me, beating him is a big thing. Right. However he does it, and I want to see the other side of him as well. I want to see him. I want to see him in a tough 12-round fight where he comes through it and boxes his way through it. He's not a one-trick pony. He can box, but as I say, this is a tough one. This is going to be. This is a fans' fight.
Yeah, it's a great fight.
That's what it is. It is a fans' fight.
Aid Oladipo, a well-known boxing analyst and commentator, points out that Dillian Whyte's recent performances have not been his best, but notes a clear change in the lead-up to this fight. The training camp updates and released footage show a completely different Whyte, leaner, sharper, and physically ready. His body condition looks close to the best shape of his career, which could make him a genuine threat to the young and rising Moses Itauma. Aid believes this transformation means Whyte can ask serious questions of Moses and push him to his limits inside the ring.
All of a sudden, people have seen the shape that I saw a video, which I'm guessing you guys have seen as well, of Dillian Whyte hitting the heavy bag and doing a bit of a bit of shadow boxing. He looked incredible. Dillian Whyte, me and G-Man did the look back, didn't we? Dillian Whyte versus Chisora. And Dillian Whyte looked in incredible shape there. And I was thinking, if he can get close to that, he's close to that. He's close to that. Dillian Whyte in his last few fights has been around the 260 mark. I think he might have even been heavy for a couple. I think he looks low 250s. And all I can ask from a fighter, this is why I get so pissed off with Martin Bakole, just get in shape. Like, skill's skill. You're not going to change a fighter from fucking where you are to Muhammad Ali. I'm not asking for that. Just get in shape. Dillian Whyte has ticked that box. And he's like, okay, if you think I'm going over to Saudi Arabia just to get smoked by this 20-year-old, we'll see. That's what I'm taking from the shape I'm seeing him in, because he looks incredible. And also, when he's firing out his jab in that little shadow boxing, his arms are so long. Like, Dillian Whyte, compared to his body structure, he has overly long arms. What I'm getting at is that Dillian Whyte can box a bit as well, He's not just a brawler, he's been tagged as this brawler. He can box a little bit. Is he a better boxer than Moses? No. But that jab could be key. Jab's always key, right? We always talk about it. But one thing I see with Dillian Whyte being in this shape is that he's saying, if I can take this young boy past 6, we're going to go into deep waters that this young boy's never been before. And it's all well and good Moses saying, I'm sparring 10 rounds and sparring 12 rounds. And, I was on TalkSport when he mentioned this yesterday. Fighting 10 rounds is different. Fighting 12 rounds is different. Dillian Whyte's done that. And look, sometimes Dillian Whyte's blown out of his arse. Sometimes Dillian Whyte's been beat in those 12-round fights. But Dillian Whyte has done that. There's a difference. And Dillian Whyte, for me, looks like a guy that's in shape to go the distance, or to at least ask questions of this young pup.
Lawrence OUI, a former professional, boxer and boxing analyst, says that Moses Itauma has fought some incredible fights and owned impressive wins. Yet, he stresses that none of those victories have come against someone with the experience and caliber of Dillian Whyte. Moses is still early in his career and has not had the years of elite level ring time that Whyte has accumulated. This experience gap could play a major role in how the fight unfolds.
No, relax. Moses has been performing under the bright lights, but what I'm saying is, it's still so early and he's got a lot to prove. Up until this point, I can't argue. He's passed every test with flying colours, but the problem is, he's passed so easily, he's missed out on valuable lessons along the way, and he's now got a very experienced veteran in front of him, in Dillian Whyte, who's been at world level. Everybody's written Dillian off, but recently, seeing interviews and seeing training footage, I'm liking what I'm seeing. I've got to be honest, my mind's starting to shift. Let's take a look and discuss the key takeaways.
I don't think I've ever seen you be this big an underdog in a fight. You are like 1-14.
Dev asked Dillian, how does he feel being the underdog?
And that's what makes you dangerous. As an underdog, you're underneath, you get up at them testicles and lock onto them, and it's game over.
It's crazy really because, like I said, he's fought at world level, fighting the likes of Povetkin, Fury, Chisora, AJ, Parker, the list goes on. But in sports, you're only as good as your last performance. In Dillian's last fight, he looked terrible, putting it politely.
Has he put something in you? Because like your last few fights, Ebenezer like instilled a fear, not...
No man is putting anything in me, pause this.
Dillian does make me laugh, dark humour, but maybe that says more about me. He says it the way it is. There's no sugar-coating. Dev says, is this the biggest risk he's took in his career? Which again is madness.
All of them have been massive, because you think, no one's ever had me as the favourite. Think of one fight that was the favourite, just think.
Dillian's right, he's always the underdog. It's nothing new.
How do you reflect on your fight with Tete?
It was what it was. Listen, I've been walking a long, lonely, dark road for 3 years.
This is the thing, people forget that fighters go through things outside of the ring which affect the performance, but us fans only judge the performance. At the end of the day, fighters are human, they're not robots.
Then that fight for me was asking myself a question, can I take a good walk and push through? Can I force myself to put the jabs in? Can I...
He admits he wasn't in great shape, but that fight for him was about dipping his foot in the water and seeing if he still got it and still wants it.
I had a few injuries and stuff going into the fight, but it's what it was. But that fight reignited the...
Dillian Whyte has been looking great in recent training footage, which has impressed many observers who previously questioned his form after a period of inactivity and a less convincing last fight. Many observers questioned sharpness following a period of inactivity and a less convincing last fight, but the latest clips have shifted opinions. He is seen moving with purpose, delivering powerful combinations and maintaining a focus, rhythm in drills. His physique also appears close to peak shape, resembling the condition he displayed in 2018 when he decisively stopped Lucas Brown. This visual evidence of renewed energy and discipline has sparked fresh optimism among his supporters who believe he still has the tools to compete at a high level as he prepares to face the young and fast-rising Moses Itauma. Whyte's training progress has become a talking